Welcome, wrestling fans, and this week on SICW Championship Wrestling, this match was so hot we wanted to get started off the evening right. And Billy McNeil, the popular one, going against the Missouri Mid-Stage Champion, Austin Lee, here at the SICW Fanfest IV, and what a match this was. Anytime Billy McNeil is in a match, you better just batten down the hatches because this man will fly all over. And he's got a newcomer to SICW in there, and Austin Lee, as Austin Lee backs McNeil up into the corner. Referee calls for a clean break and gets on. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's why we have rules. Austin Lee now, Billy McNeil come out into the referee lockup in the center of the ring. Now it's Billy McNeil. Pushes Lee back into that corner. Referee counts to let him out. And another clean break by Billy McNeil. Fans, we appreciated everybody joining us at the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center in Fairview Heights, Illinois for SICW Fanfest IV. As plans are already being made for Fanfest V, May 14th and 15th of 2027, back at the Radisson Hotel in Fairview Heights. It's Lee now with a standing side headlock on Billy McNeil as he grinds the pressure. Now down to one knee goes Austin Lee. And Billy McNeil flips over and comes up with a front face lock just that quick. That's what I said. This young man's got more moves in his bag of tricks than you can count. Austin pushes him back up into the corner. Again, the referee starts to count. Oh, this time Austin Lee delivers a vicious chop to the upper chest of Billy McNeil. Not once but twice, and now whips him over the corner. Billy gets up on that bottom rope and comes out of it with a reverse elbow. Comes from the other side and another reverse elbow, and that staggers Austin Lee. Billy McNeil now up top comes off with another elbow from that top rope. He covers him, count of one, and one count, and Lee manages to kick out. And there you see Stephen E., the leader of the Devastation Incorporated at ringside. Billy McNeil now up on that middle rope and delivering those big blows to the side of the head on Austin Lee. A great crowd. Oh, and Austin Lee sneaks underneath, grabs the legs, and it's Billy McNeil's chin that hits that top turnbuckle. And now he runs in, picks him up with belly to back, and drops his neck and upper back across that turnbuckle. Suplexes him out and across the ring. That's what I said, fans. That's why I wanted to get right into this one, because this one was setting the stage for everything else that took place at Fanfest IV. And there you see Stephen E. out there encouraging his man, Austin Lee, to punish Billy McNeil. Another big chop delivered. Big elbow to the back of the neck. Billy in the corner once again. Another chop. Boy, this Austin Lee is not backing off of Billy McNeil. Fans, we want to thank all of you in Shawneetown, Illinois, for a great event we had there yesterday. We can't say enough for the Fire Chief Terry Golden and his entire staff as the Shawneetown Coal Festival days came to an end with SICW wrestling action. We're going to hear more about that in the weeks to come, but right now we're talking about what took place at SICW Fanfest IV. Austin Lee has the McNeil draped over that middle rope, and there you see Stephen E. adding insult to injury, choking him over that middle rope. And I bet you if you ask him, he'd swear he wasn't doing anything. There you go, raising his hand. I didn't do anything. Billy in the corner once again, and now it's Lee with a reverse elbow, and now a front face snare and a reverse chin lock takes him down to the canvas. It was a great time in Shawneetown last night. They had carnival rides for the kids, had plenty of the good old county fair, city fairs with corn dogs, cotton candy, you name it. Delicious barbecue, cold beverages, and and just a great time in Shawneetown, Illinois. It was our honor to be able to once again go down there and help them. And of course, they don't come much finer than Chief Terry Golden for the Shawneetown Fire Department. A 2 count, but Billy McNeil kicks out. And I will go ahead and tell you now, we've probably got to be returning to Shawneetown. We had a discussion on another event later on this year, hopefully helping the band of the high school raise some funds. Had the opportunity to talk with the organizers of that, and hopefully we'll be returning there in the near future, so stay tuned to SICW.org for all the latest of what's going on in and around the SICW world. Austin Lee charges in. Billy gets out of the way, but a big kick. And now hooks him up, comes off of the rope. A form of a DDT, a swinging DDT, and it's Austin Lee flat on the canvas. Billy now trying to regain his composure. Referee begins to count on both men. Dr. Drew Ebenhouse sitting there at ringside, keeping a close eye on the clock and also what's going on in that squared circle. Both men slow to get to their feet. Lee with his... but it's Billy. Clothesline, a reverse elbow. A reverse kick to the midsection. Now he comes off. Austin Lee ducks out of that one, and it's now he hooks the leg. Picks him up. Billy slides down the back into the corner, and Lee charges in, and Billy was waiting for him with that big boot. Now Billy up to the top rope, comes off. Catches him both feet right on the shoulders. That knocks Lee down to the canvas. Billy covers him. He hooks the leg. 1, 2. And just that quick. Austin Lee kicks out at about 2 3/4. And you can see Stephen E. was not too happy about that. Billy once again climbing to the top rope. And now there Stephen E. comes in and he pushes him off. And Billy McNeil goes down to the canvas with the help of Stephen E. Now Austin Lee hooks the leg, picks him up, drops him down, and he hooks the leg. Count of 1, 2, 3, and just that way, Stephen E. with his interference scores the victory for Austin Lee. And now let's take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have a lot more action for you.
Everybody, What Were They Thinking is proud to be a part of the show with Herb Simmons at SICW.
Show some enthusiasm, Joe. Put on a damn bow tie. We got Herb Simmons. We got the Kill Arena. We got St. Louis, where Mr. Briscoe is in the Hall of Fame. What Were They Thinking? It's available on Backstage Pass. Sportskeetas, our buddies. We talk about the wildest, the craziest, the dumbest, the insane moments in wrestling history that I'm proud to be a part of because, Mr. Briscoe, you're the one that hired me.
And I don't know what I was thinking when I did that, John.
That's not nice. Not nice at all. We love Herb Simmons. And Herb Simmons, you have been there forever. Mr. Briscoe thinks you might be 1,000. I don't think you're a day over 900. We love St. Louis. What were they thinking, Backstage Pass?
Well, fans, here we are back from the commercial break and another great match here at Fanfest IV. The team of the Night Train, Gary Jackson, and the Bottle Tower one, Curtis Wilde, taking on LA Hustlers. And man, the LA Hustlers have been gone for some time, and boy, they got a welcoming like you wouldn't believe. And there at ringside, you see referee Freddie Jack putting the handcuffs on Lucky P. Larson. My son Jason there kind of assisting because Lucky didn't want to live up to what was signed for this match. He's going to be handcuffed to the silverback Big Joe Helms right there. Lucky didn't want any part of that. But the LA Hustlers returned to SICW after a long absence, and Lucky P. Larson didn't like the stipulations that he would be handcuffed to Big Joe Helms. The crowd loved it. Lucky was the only one in the crowd that probably didn't. We won't count the LA Hustlers, but I'm sure they didn't go for it either. But That's the way it is. That's the way Teddy Long, the acting general manager for this event, wanted it. Maybe you shouldn't poke the bear, Lucky, as our good friend Mac Davis referred to. This one kind of get on the way. The bell is sounded. Gary Jackson. Oh! Hustler runs in, and it's Jackson who does a backflip on him. A second one. The night train. Gary Jackson runs in with that clothesline and knocks him out over the top rope. Here comes the volatile one. Gary Jackson and Curtis Wilde. Of course, anytime you see the volatile one, you see Wildfire on the floor outside cheering her man on. Again, fans, we want to thank you all for tuning in here each and every Sunday night at 8 p.m. on YouTube and social media platforms as we bring you the best in professional wrestling, just like the good olden days of wrestling at the Chase. That's right, from 1959 to 1983, Sam Muchnick promoted the #1 show around, National Wrestling Alliance, home of the National Wrestling Alliance president, Mr. Sam Muchnick. And what a job he did. What a foundation he built for professional wrestling, for the wrestlers, for the fans. And we are so honored to be able to continue to build on that foundation like nobody else can. Right here at SICW, Southern Illinois Championship Wrestling. I remember many matches that Sam Muchnick attended at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds when Larry Matisek and I was promoting shows there. Him and a couple of his good friends, Jack English from Jack English's Bar and Grill in Belleville, Illinois. Steve Miserini and Joe Ferret, the Decent Boys, used to sit ringside and watch our shows when we'd have the Luthez, the former NWA champion, there as a special guest referee. Or we'd have the likes of Dirty Dick Murdoch, or Tojo Yamamoto and Gypsy Joe. Whenever we had the talent in, and Sam was available, he'd always take in one of the SICW shows. Iceman King Parsons, who will be going into the class of 2027 Hall of Fame next May 14th and 15th when Fanfest V takes place at the Radisson Hotel and Conference Center. That's right. Rufus R. Jones, the Freight Train, being inducted next year. Already a great list of honorees being compiled to take their place into that St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame put on by SICW. Now, Gary Jackson taking his little time with the bigger man. LA Hustlers, these guys are known around the world. They take no prisoners. They're rough. They're tough. And there you see him double teaming the night train, Gary Jackson. Wildfire hammering, beating on the ring apron. Ooh, big right delivered on Jackson. A tag is made. Referee Freddie Jack. Oh, but they are double teaming again. Pull him out, push him back once again. A third time into that turnbuckle. Jackson down to the canvas. Fans, in weeks to come, we'll have more exciting action from the Fanfest and also from Shawneetown, Illinois, where we were last night, and then also from the Worldwide Technology Raceway, where we were at on this past day, Sunday. That will be coming to you in the near weeks. The construction is still taking place at the Belle Claire Fairgrounds, so we're still working around some dates there, getting ready to make our return there. In fact, we may have a couple of already scheduled. But in the meantime, Hustler picks up Jackson and delivers a big body slam. We want to thank Adam Hamlin and doing his fine photography work, him and Mark. Destiny Lynch, our roaming young lady, keeps all the fans in a happy mood. She's one happy individual, always a smile on her face, so we can't say enough about some of the boys call her Miss Drew, Miss Dr. Drew. But right now, you see Dr. Drew giving you a time limit announced here. Gary Jackson needs to get over and get a tag, get Curtis in. He's been in there since the start of the bell, and they continue to work on him. Fans, later on this year, we're going to be returning to the Missouri Athletic Club for another great event there. That's a private event, but it's always a great time. We're going to be returning to Fairmont City, Illinois. Our good friends there, Chief Brown with the police department and Chief Allen with the fire department, always put on a terrific show for their community. Tag is made, and now in comes Curtis Wild. Curtis, the freshman, and he's firing up both LA Hustlers, one and then the other, back and forth. And now whips one into the other and charges in. Curtis is fired up. And speaking of fired up, I want to take a moment and give a shout out to Wildfire Tommy Rich, who joined us this past weekend in Shawneetown, Illinois, and at the Worldwide Technology Raceway. Tommy, one of the all-time greats, former NWA champion, still out there getting in the ring, lacing up them boots, and giving 110% each and every time. Ooh, big spear delivered by Curtis. And now Gary Jackson's coming in. All four men in the ring. Referee's trying to restore some order here. And he's telling Gary, you're not the legal man. You got to get out. There you see Steve Fender at ringside. And Axe Allward looks like they double-teamed Big Joe Helms. He was handcuffed to Lucky P. Larson. The action in the ring. We got action outside the ring. There you see to the left upper part of your screen, Axe Allward and superstar Steve Fender. Looks like they're trying to get the handcuffs. There you see Lucky P. Larson is out of the handcuffs. The silverback, Big Joe Helms, is down on the floor. Steve Fender working on the night train. There's Axe in there working on the night train. Curtis is down on the canvas. Fans, this one got broke down. Referee Freddie Jack is calling for the bell. This one's out of control. Axe Allward, superstar Steve Fender injecting themselves into this match, and you can bet that Lucky P was behind it. There's that briefcase by the LA Hustlers. Silverback Big Joe Helms trying to come around now. You don't want to get this guy. Here he comes. He tosses a chair into the ring. And they all say, let's get out of here. You don't want to get this guy on your bad side. Joe Helms, the silverback, he'll take on all of them. And he just made them all clear out of the ring. Lucky P. Larson had another trick up his sleeve with superstar Steve Fender and Axe Allward. So this one's going to end up into a DQ. And there you see Curtis Wild down in the corner. Gary Jackson down. And now, fans, when we get some order restored here, we're going to take a trip right now. Don't know if you like it or not. I don't. We're going to visit Nasty Talk with Big Glenn Williams.
Nasty Talk this week is brought to you by Bucked Up Energy. Go ahead and hop on buckedup.com. Use my promo code WINNER123 to get 20% off. It's fueling my rant tonight. Let's figure out what's happening here, okay? Fanfest 4 happens because I had JBL so excited to get out of retirement. He convinced Herb Simmons to make Fanfest 4 happen. I get screwed at Fanfest IV because it was supposed to be one-on-one, and surprise, surprise, it was not that. I was painted into a corner and had to do a 6-man tag that I was not prepared for. I prepared for only one guy. Then I go and ask, hey, Herb Simmons, where you at so we can talk about it? How are you going to make this right? And he won't answer my phone calls. He won't text me. He won't respond to my messages. I'm left on red. I went looking for him and he's hiding from me. His family's covering for him because they're all acting like I'm crazy. And yeah, you're damn right, I'm a little unhinged. But I'm also not an idiot. I'm actually really, really smart. And I think that's the part that pisses everybody off. The other part that pisses everybody off is they can't figure out why I'm heavily featured. Like right now. 32 weeks I haven't missed a single episode. Shot, edited, produced, written, all of it by myself. Yet some reason, the locker room, the majority of them can't even share a flyer or post a goddamn promo. Not even once. Yet, Herb Simmons is now going out here and thanking one by one all of his favorites. Thank you for your years of service. For what? For what? They're not the ones selling this shit out. I am. I'm the reason people are walking in the door. We went city to city to city to city all year long last year. And I was in main event after main event after main event. And I saw 10, 15, 20 different people from each city showing up to the shows. They were at FanFest. They come to Belleville. And guess what? They're always the loudest when I'm in the ring. I am the most polarizing figure to ever exist in the SICW ecosystem. And it's long, long history. Thanking all these guys, like Sean Vincent, at least he posts. At least he promotes the show. Jason Breed, good wrestler, hasn't talked to anyone in the building. Big Texan, I might understand. He does a lot, Wrestler of the Year. He posts. But not one of them are talking people into the building like I am. There's nobody doing the things that I'm doing, and I know the argument could be made, well, Big Nasty, it's probably because you're a bad guy. Yeah, I thought that too, until I saw a picture of Attila Khan and Herb Simmons in a nice little lovely post. So it's not just that. I'm just being disrespected at this point. You people have gotten used to the output and the work that I've done, and I think you're forgetting that I'm doing more than everybody combined. I think you're forgetting that I'm actually a star, and I know it. Teddy Long, Mac Davis, they know it. They said it on their podcast. Teddy Long has seen every era of every killer and every star, and he said, out of his mouth, I hope somebody calls Big Nasty and gives him a shot because he deserves it. You're goddamn right I do, Teddy. You may have saved yourself an ass kicking. I haven't quite decided yet. How in the world are you making announcements for Fanfest V and there's not even a poster for Big Nasty versus JBL yet? Huh? You're not even talking about it? No, I gotta do that. I gotta talk about it myself because we know JBL can't pull out a phone and cut a promo either. What are we doing? I'm getting disrespected at every turn. I don't know what I gotta do here. And for a guy that says he doesn't want to be front and center, I'm sure seeing Herb Simmons on a lot of posters. Herb Simmons presents. How about Herb Simmons presents a thank you to his goddamn star? Are you kidding me? 1 million views on one video, and SICW's tagged on it. You know how much I would charge people for that? And I gave it to you for free. For free! Sponsors weren't happening until I showed up. As you're watching this tonight, we just wrestled at Worldwide Wrestling Sorry, I'm worked up. Worldwide Technology Raceway. Me and Tony Flood, tag team match. Here's a spoiler, we don't lose. I don't even know who we're facing yet, but I'm not gonna lose. I'm so pissed. I can't even stand it. I'm known for making moments, and I want everyone to know that I see what's happening. It is a full team effort to disrespect Big Nasty because you're all jealous. Oh my, I wish I could have risen to the top like that. Well, you're not me, I'm sorry. You had every opportunity to grind like I did. I lost it all and got it all back in real time, and nothing's gonna stop me on the path I'm on except for me, and I'm operating at the highest level I've ever been at. SICW, the next moment I make is going to live forever. Because the one I see in my head is crazy. Because don't forget, I'm the creator of chaos. I'm the moment maker. I'm damn sure the risk taker. I'm mentally sick and I'm physically thick. My name is Big Nasty, and everywhere I go, you all know this, I'm the star of the show. There's been a level of respect that I've let keep me from doing some real bad things, and now I think I'm gonna take that and throw it out the window. The next time we are back at Belleville, get your tickets now, get your phones out and get ready. Because what I'm gonna do is going to absolutely flip this place on its head. Do not forget, I hold 2 of the 3 titles here. I'd have all 3 if my boy Brandon wasn't the champion right now. This place is in my hands. Herb's name could be all over it, but it belongs to me. This is your warning shot. Post my flyer. Post a thank you. Start treating me the way I deserve to be treated, or I'm gonna start treating you the way that you treat me.
Well, wrestling fans, we just came back from Nasty Talk, and, what can I say? I'm not trying to even think about him. He's in his own little world. But right now, I wanted to bring you an old classic match. 2 of the all-time greats. Anytime they got in that squared circle, it was an all-out war. And I'm talking about Bruiser Brody against Kamala, the Ugandan Giant. And there you see Bruiser Brody was no stranger to SICW. I miss him every day. And right here, he's working on Kamala. Kamala, the Ugandan Giant, appeared at the only show that was ever produced at the Fox Theater back in, I believe it was around 1986, 87. We had a host of them on there. Crusher Blackwell was on there. The Midgets joined us. We had Bobby Fulton and Tommy Rogers. The Fantastics was there. Gentleman Chris Adams, Bruiser Brody, Ron Powers, Spike Huber, and a list of the who's who of professional wrestling right there when SICW, along with Sam Muchnick and Larry Matisek, produced that show at the fabulous Fox Theater. So I wanted to kind of bring this here to you today on our classic show, showing you what Sugar Bear Harris, Kamala, was doing to Bruiser Brody. Right there. This was one of the Von Erich's classic matches down at the Sportatorium. Dave Manning. And, it was a lumberjack style. You see the guys outside the ring there, and Kamala continuing to work on Bruiser Brody. Some places they call him King Kong Brody. I had the honor of calling him both of them and then also my friend. And Kamala, those big chops, tomahawk chops right to the head, doing that damage on Brody. And now Brody fires off on Kamala. Big knee comes in and finds its mark, and Brody goes for the cover. Count of one, count of two. I remember matches of Bruiser Brody and Abdullah the Butcher. One of them took place at the Dupo High School. We have that in our library. Brody comes off of that top rope and catches Kamala, and Kamala finds himself going through the ropes and outside. And the Lumberjacks some will help protect him, and some will help get him back in the ring. You see Friday there, the handler of Kamala. Anytime, like I said, wherever these two, Brody, a bloody mess there. Oh, a big drop kick delivered, finds its mark, and Kamala finds himself in the corner. Brody, for the size of the man he was, could get up in the air. Kamala, one thrust to the throat by Brody. He whips him off the rope, catches him with a big chop right to the chest. And now a double axe handle to the chest also, and Kamala finds himself on the canvas. Brody covers him. Referee in for the count of two, and it's Kamala's turn to kick out. Like I said, anywhere you saw these two men's name on a marquee, it could be the only match on the card, and you got your money's worth, I'm telling you. And now Brody is on the canvas. Kamala delivers those big chops again, and now just blatantly starts choking him. Back and forth this match went. He's got some type of a nerve hold or something on him there. Brody's starting to thrash around, trying to get out of it. Looks like he's got him right by the throat. Referee checking. Ask him, do you want to give up? And now he just takes a bite out of the forehead of Brody. Wow, these two men, you talk about wild. This Kamala. He is out to get even with Bruiser Brody, and Brody, the man who comes in and settles all of those wars and feuds around the world in the promotional days. That's what made him the man in the business. He's trying to fight his way back. Kamala still holding on. Got him by the chest, the pectoral muscles there, and putting the pressure in. You see the look on Kamala's face, and Brody shaking his head. No, never. I'm not giving up. I don't think you can make him. Both men up on their feet. Brody, what can I do to get out of this? He backs up into the corner. Kamala continues to hold on. Referee trying to get him out of the corner. I don't know if I'd want to be Dave Manning in there, I'll tell you. Oh, Kamala picks up Brody, big body slam, and rolls in for the cover again. A 1, 2. Oh, and Brody tosses him up 2 feet in the air. And Kamala, as you know, is not a small man. Brody now a punch to the midsection. Another one. And one to the head. Now it's Kamala staggering around. Skandar Akbar, look at that picture right there. The devious one. You know, we thought Stephen E., I tell you, every trick in the book he learned from Skandar Akbar. There you see, gentleman Chris Adams out around the ringside. Now Brody, working on Kamala, puts the big boot to the side of the head. Kamala out on the ring apron. Fans, you can see why I wanted to bring you this match tonight. This was like I said, an all-out battle of war. Brody from behind with them big chops. Anything went in this match. You can see that right here. I mean, they're gouging, they're poking, they're biting, they're kicking. Referee telling him to get off the rope. Brody pushes the referee back out of the way as he continues to choke Kamala over that top rope. And now, once again, he pushes the referee out of the way. Like I said, if I was a referee, I'd be getting back over and let these two just go at it. That's basically what they're going to do anyway. I mean, it's back and forth. This capacity crowd on their feet. They knew when they bought their tickets for this match, it was going to be a war. And they weren't disappointed. Now, Brody just lunges in with that head to the midsection. But now, once again, Kamala goes to biting. Referee breaks it up. Oh, now Kamala takes and tosses Brody between the ropes outside. And there, the Lumberjacks. Iceman King Parsons, the man who will be inducted into the SICW St. Louis Wrestling Hall of Fame May 14th and 15th, 2027 in Fairview Heights, Illinois. He was with us at Fanfest IV, but he's coming back to be inducted into that Hall of Fame. And boy, they're working on Brody as they're getting him back in the ring. That's what happens when you have the, oh, wait a minute. He was the referee was right. No, now he just takes and throws Dave Manning out of the rope. I thought he was awarding the match to Brody, but now Brody just tossed the referee out of the ring, and he continues to work on Kamala. Now all their Lumberjacks are coming in the ring. You see it. There's Iceman. They're all coming from outside. Gentleman Chris Adams. They're trying to restrain Brody. He's throwing him across the ring, and he goes back after Kamala. Kamala falls out of the ring. Fans, this one just broke down. They're trying to restrain Brody. Brody's trying to get to Kamala. You see Skandar. He's got Kamala outside the ring. Friday is there with him. Well, fans, this one broke down. That's why it's a classic match, and that's why we wanted to bring you here tonight at SICW. And let's go to the final commercial, and then we'll be back momentarily. Wrestling fans, welcome back. And we want to go over some dates, future dates of SICW. So try to remember these or mark them down if you're sitting there in the comfort of your home. We want to just let you know that SICW is on the road. Saturday, July 18th, we return to the East Carondelet Community Center. That's right, 823 State Street right there in East Carondelet, where we've had so many great matches. Mark that date down, July the 18th. And then a big one that we're really excited about. The Fair St. Clair is coming back to the Belle Claire Fairgrounds in Belleville, Illinois on August the 1st. Also, just not only the wrestling will be returning, but stock car racing will be there along with the fair, just the way it used to be. Stay tuned for more information on that, but that's the big date, August the 1st. And then August the 8th, we go back to the Little Devils. That's right. Our good friends up there that help all the young youth out with their wrestling teams or ball teams or football. We'll be right there back in Belleville at the Little Devils helping them out. August the 29th, we're over at a private show at the Soho apartment complex in Soulard Market. Always a great time right there. And then September 12th and 13th, that's right, the 12th and 13th of September, we go back to Worldwide Technology Raceway when NASCAR comes to town. Always a great time at Worldwide Technology Raceway, especially when NASCAR is there. And then September the 24th, a private show at the Missouri Athletic Club. Our good friends over there, Jim Wilson. Always a great time. Can't wait to get back to the Missouri Athletic Club. October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That's right. 3 big days, October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, back at Worldwide Technology Raceway for the NHRA. We're always grateful, always happy to go back to Worldwide Technology Raceway. October the 9th, which is a Friday night. Make sure you remember that, and we'll be telling you about it. But Friday night, October the 9th, Belle Claire Fairgrounds. We can't wait to get back there. Special Friday night, kind of like it used to be at Wrestling at the Chase, Friday night at the Kiel Auditorium. And then we move on to the next day. There'd be a Saturday TV taping back in the East Gronelec Community Center. And we can't wait to get back to the TV tapings to continue to bring you these Sunday night shows. And then October the 24th, another return show to the Fairmont City Fire Department and Police Department's fundraiser right there at the Holy Family Gymnasium. Been there several years now, helping them raise funds for their police and fire department. So we'll have those big dates up periodically, and you'll hear a lot more announcements of them coming in the future. Stay tuned to SICW.org for the latest of what's going on. And fans, that wraps us up just about. But before we go, we're going to bring you one more classic because you deserve it. We'll throw a classic in here, and then we'll see you back here next Sunday evening at 8 p.m.
A special attraction, a one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing from Portland, Oregon, weighing 266 pounds, the Missouri State Champion, Ken Patera. From Amarillo, Texas, weighing 238 pounds, Tommy Sharp.
Ken Patera, maybe the world's strongest man, is chased back by Tommy Sharp, who's obviously anxious for this big opportunity against the Missouri State Champion. You're gonna get it, boy, says Ken Patera to Tommy Sharp. He's threatening to take a swat at Sharp with the Missouri title belt. One of the most valuable prizes in wrestling, the Missouri State Championship. It belongs to Ken Patera now. He took it away from Kevin Von Erich. He's going to be defending it against Ted DiBiase, the man who nearly ripped it from the grasp of Ken Patera not too long ago. Patera goes outside the ring to remove the rest of his warm-up gear. Ken Patera, what a powerhouse. 266 pounds of muscle. But there's a brain in there with it, and that is what makes him dangerous, the brain that goes along with that muscle. He's a good ring general. You'll get yours, boy, says Ken Patera. The crowd yelling about DiBiase, and that little barb struck home. Tommy Sharp, obviously geared to fever pitch. Patera knows it. And he's going to let Sharp get anxious. Let Sharp charge it. Maybe he'll make a mistake. Although Patera quickly with that side headlock. He's rolled onto his shoulders, but not for long. Joe Tangaro, the referee, was right there to make a count if it had been necessary. Front face lock by Patera on Tommy Sharp. Over the top goes Sharp. Patera showing you some good basic moves right there. I noticed that he's wearing a knee brace. He had a bad knee, and I'll tell you, when he was trapped in that figure four leg lock of Ted DiBiase for such a long period of time, did not help matters. And I understand that Patera's been having knee problems ever since that match with DiBiase. And a lot of that has to be because of the figure four leg lock that DiBiase had Patera trapped in during the entire last minute of the draw. Sharp going for the leg. You've got to believe that when DiBiase gets another crack at the Missouri title, he's going to attack that leg. He's going for the knee again. You have to believe that. Sharp with a standing leg split, and Patera lifted right off the mat. His hips are by the pressure from that standing leg split of Tommy Sharp. Good balance there by Tommy Sharp as he twists the ankle of Patera. Sharp turning that leg around. Patera crying out. And there's the knee, the damaged knee. And how much of that damage is the compliments of Ted DiBiase? Well, only Patera could tell you, and I don't think he would admit it anyway. He's tough. Speaking of knees, I know Ken was very sorry to hear about the knee injury his good friend Tom Stock, a fellow weightlifter who's been after many of Patera's records. Stock suffered a bad knee injury, and Ken Patera was very sorry to hear that. He knows how troublesome knees can be for a wrestler or a lifter. Ken Patera, maybe the world's strongest man. You could fill a dictionary with all of the different records that Ken Patera has in the weightlifting world, all the medals, all the honors that he's won. And the biggest honor of all, in wrestling, he's after the World Heavyweight Championship. As long as he has this Missouri State title, he's one leg up toward getting a crack at the World Heavyweight Championship. Sharp slammed head first into the buckle by Patera. Patera lifts Sharp, manhandling him, slams him backwards. A 238-pounder is pitched around with ease by Patera. Sharp comes off the rope. Patera catches him with the bear hug. The bear hug by Ken Patera, squeezing Tommy Sharp. The powerful Patera squeezing Sharp, trying to wring out a submission from Sharp. If anybody can do it, it's Ken Patera. Rest assured of that. Sharp hanging in there, not giving up. Now he's trying to find room to squeeze his hand in there. If he can get that arm down inside the elbow, he might be able to break the bear hug. He couldn't get it through. He couldn't get it through those burly arms of Patera. Now Sharp pulls the hair and pops the ears of Patera. A forearm smash to the jaw, knee lift from Patera. Patera limping, favoring that leg. A knee to the back from Ken Patera. Even with that gimpy knee, Patera's power can still get him through a lot of tight spots. That forearm's like a sledgehammer when it scores. Right into the spine, right into the lower back. Don't tell me what to do, yells Patera at Joe Tangaro, who cautioned Patera about pulling the tights. The forearm itself is perfectly legal, no problem there. Patera lifts Sharp, high, look at how he's lifting him and just pitches him away. Just throwing him away. Flying elbow drop.
5 minutes have elapsed, 5 minutes left.
Count of two and Sharp pushes off Patera. A cut has been opened up across the bridge of the nose of Tommy Sharp. Sharp bleeding. Sharp pitched to the rope by Patera. Oh, he clotheslined Sharp. Patera nearly taking off Tommy Sharp's head, catching him with that forearm right to the throat. Sharp staggered his feet, but look at Patera. He circles behind. There's the full Nelson, and that sets him up for the swinging neck breaker or the full Nelson. He's just going to wring it right out of Sharp, forcing that head down. The full Nelson with all the power, all the muscle in the world right behind it. Patera jamming that neck down, and Sharp submits Missouri State champion Ken Patera with the full Nelson. The full Nelson proving the difference in Patera's might. What a weapon that power is. Let's hear from Mickey.
In 5 minutes and 45 seconds, the full Nelson. The winner, Missouri State champion Ken Patera.